Why do some people seem to move forward in life while others feel stuck? Is it just a matter of luck? Not exactly. More often than not, the real difference starts with mindset. Today, I want to share a story about how one man slowly, step by step, changed his entire life just by learning to think differently. Stay with me, because this lesson might help you see new possibilities in your own journey. Once upon a time, in a quiet little town, there lived a man named Daniel. Daniel worked in a modest bicycle repair shop. Every single day, he fixed flat tires, he adjusted chains, and he replaced broken parts. His income was simple, just enough to cover his basic needs. And deep down, Daniel truly believed, this is it. This is all I can do. He had accepted his reality, and his thoughts reflected that belief. One evening, just as he was about to close up shop, a customer arrived with an electric bike. Daniel had never seen anything like it before. It was sleek, modern, and had a small motor near the pedals. Curious, he couldn't help but ask about it. The man smiled and said, "Oh, these are great. Electric bikes are becoming more and more popular. I think they're going to play a much bigger role in the future of transportation." That night, Daniel couldn't stop thinking about those words. The idea of the future felt so distant to him. For Daniel, life was about getting through today, and maybe tomorrow. The present was already difficult enough to manage, so thinking about the future felt like a luxury he couldn't afford. Still, the thought lingered in his mind, like a seed planted in a small crack in the pavement. For the very first time in years, Daniel asked himself a new kind of question. It wasn't about what he was, but what he could be. He whispered to himself, "What if I learned more? What if I actually tried something new?" It was a simple question, but it was powerful. It was the first sign of a shift, a tiny opening in the walls he had built around himself. The next day, something inside Daniel had changed. He went to work with a newfound sense of purpose. He began paying closer attention, not just to the broken parts of the bikes, but to the people who rode them. He started asking his customers questions. What did they like about their bikes? What problems did they face on their daily rides? What did they wish could be better? He kept a small notebook and wrote everything down. He learned that some people wanted more comfort for longer rides, others wanted more storage for groceries, and many were curious about easier ways to get up the steep hills in town. Little by little, his perspective began to change. He no longer saw himself as just a repairman, but as someone who could understand problems and maybe, just maybe, offer solutions. He was shifting from a fixed role to a person who could learn and grow. After weeks of listening and thinking, Daniel made a small but brave decision. It was a leap of faith, backed by his newfound knowledge. He used a payment plan to order 2 electric bikes. It was a financial risk, and it made him nervous, but it also felt right. When the bikes arrived, he placed them right outside his shop with a simple, handwritten sign. "Discover a new way to ride." At first, people were skeptical. His regular customers would walk by, glance at the new bikes, and continue on their way. Some even chuckled a bit, but others were curious. They'd stop, ask questions, and Daniel, armed with all the insights he'd gathered, could now answer them thoughtfully. After a short time, a young woman who was tired of her long commute decided to buy one. That first sale gave Daniel a jolt of confidence. It wasn't because he suddenly felt like a brilliant businessman or that success was now guaranteed. It was because he had taken action. He had stepped out of his comfort zone, tried something new, and it had worked. The fear was still there, but now it was mixed with a sense of possibility. Over time, Daniel continued to learn. He didn't stop with just selling electric bikes. He learned how to repair their motors. He started stocking accessories that his customers had told him they wanted: more comfortable seats, larger baskets, brighter lights. He even explored the idea of using electric bikes for a small, local delivery service, partnering with a nearby bakery. His progress came step by step, not overnight. There were good days and bad days, successes and setbacks. But with each step, his belief in his own ability to grow became stronger. Years later, Daniel's small repair shop had transformed. It was now a respected and thriving bike business, the go-to place in town for everything from simple repairs to the latest electric models. One afternoon, the very same customer who had first brought in the electric bike came back. He didn't recognize Daniel at first, surrounded by his bustling business. Daniel smiled, walked over, and said, "You might not remember me, But years ago, your words about the future of bikes really stuck with me. They helped me see new possibilities. I decided to learn, and I decided to take a chance. This is the power of an open, growth-oriented mindset. It's not about wishful thinking. It's about what happens when you believe that growth is possible. When you have that belief, you start to notice opportunities that were invisible to you before. Thinking bigger doesn't mean taking reckless risks or chasing unrealistic dreams. It simply means being open to learning, adapting, and taking small, calculated steps forward. So, take a moment and ask yourself, am I open to growth? Am I willing to think differently about my situation, my skills, and my future? It starts with a simple question, just like Daniel's. What if? Because when your thinking expands, your world of opportunities often does too. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like, share it with someone who might need a little encouragement today, and subscribe to our channel for more simple and meaningful stories. Remember, growth starts with belief, and it continues with action. Thanks for watching.